Hello and welcome to On the Move. We are Matt and Betsy. Have you ever wondered what it's like to shop on Prince Edward Island? After all, we are on an island. Well, today we're going to tell you a little bit about our experiences.
I think I first have to confess, because I feel like I need to give a disclaimer, we are by no means expert shoppers. We actually do a fair amount of online shopping in general in our life, be it for research purposes or for actual purchasing,
We kind of have this duality about us because I very much want to support local businesses and be a local shopper, but I also really enjoy the whole online research process and the convenience of shopping.
And I can just be really specific about things sometimes. Yeah. So anyway, please forgive us for the fact that we do at times online shop, but I will put in a little plug that although we are on an island, the big one, we'll leave it at that, still does know how to get us stuff pretty quickly, promptly, and easily.
Well, I'll say some of the major ones.
Sure.
Like Amazon delivers very easily
Yes.
to the island. Costco delivers to the island.
Yes.
There's an IKEA spot where a depot of sorts where they will drop stuff and you can pick it up. So some of those big box chains, and there's more, those are just ones that we have used here on the island. They will deliver.
They get here. Yeah. Now, so Amazon and Costco will do it for free, correct?
Well,
generally, if it says it's free, they'll do it. IKEA, you do pay like a travel fee or
which I think is standard for them.
For IKEA anyway. Yeah. Okay, so not a problem.
Showing her shopping savvy.
And IKEA will bring it to your door for an additional fee.
Sometimes.
Oh, not everything.
Because IKEA, and some of what we're going to say today is also. There's a caveat is the pandemic that is happening right now. COVID-19 gets in the way of shopping and supply chains all over the world, not just here in Prince Edward Island. So that has partly affected IKEA, and sometimes they will not deliver to your door.
So we've done both though.
Yes.
So when we were renovating and we purchased the kitchen, I had all of the cabinetry delivered right to our door, mainly because it would have taken me several trips in a truck to pick it all up, and by the time I would have picked it up, I would have paid that delivery fee in gas, essentially. And then I've also done picking up at a depot at 2 different times. So there is a depot here on the island that you can have everything delivered to, and then they call you or email you to tell you when your stuff has arrived, and then you go. They have lovely folks there who help you load it up into your vehicle and send you on your way. So that's what we've done with IKEA.
Yeah, and so to remember, and she's talking about driving here, there are 2 main shopping centers in Prince Edward Island. Charlottetown, of course, being the capital, the biggest. Summerside being the second, and then there are some tertiary ones to that as well. For us, it happens to be Montague, which we can do a lot of shopping there as well.
So again, just sort of covering some of the basic, your groceries can be found all over, even for us. Closer than Montague, just a few minutes, we have a general store we've talked about before, Cooper's. And if you're really out of something, if you're really out of something basic or even not just basic, they do carry a great variety of grocery and like household items that you might need to.
Sometimes actually cheaper than when you catch sales or things or some of their meat. Or compared to the big grocery stores, I've actually discovered that eggs are cheaper there too.
Best fresh fish I've found so far. Some of my friends have laughed at me that is the freshest fish I have eaten in my life, came from Cooper's. They tell me I still have room to grow, so I'll take them up on that. But for the time being, I'm quite content with what I've been able to find there. It's been delicious. Yeah, and it is a general store, so you can also walk in and find a paintbrush if you desperately need a paintbrush, or gardening gloves, and sometimes
socks.
Yeah, so it's great fun even just to go and see what they might be carrying at that moment.
I'm a little nostalgic for things of old. So I really like that general stores are alive and well here on the island. That's not the only one that we've been into, actually.
No, that's just our local, our closest. Yeah. So it's Cooper's Red and White, I think is what it's called. So that's sort of, and then like I said, with groceries, then the next step, we can go to Montague, and you've got Superstore, you've got Sobeys. And then from there you can go into town and get like a larger version of the Atlantic Superstore. Basically no frills. They're all along the way. You can find them all. So finding Grocery stores and food, no problem. We also liked during the season, we talked briefly about it, when we can, finding local roadside stops.
Yeah.
We have now found a consistent egg supplier
Yeah.
that we quite enjoy.
Again, and they do some other little produce and things
yes, they do.
too.
Yeah, our main.
They sell. I saw just there today. Actually, they sell honey from a guy just down the road from us too.
Nice.
There's lots of that around.
Yeah, so we're getting more familiar with what our neighbors are supplying as well, and we enjoy that. So they're great. They're great eggs. They're fresh. They're extra large size. So I quite like them.
Yeah, often they're like organic, free range as well. If that is something that you enjoy.
Appreciate. Yeah. Also, we were gifted from one of our neighbors a free range chicken.
Yes.
So we're looking forward for, as we ahead to Easter weekend, we're hoping to prepare that and enjoy it and share it with some friends. So I know that those sources are out there. You just have to be willing to kind of talk to people. That's how you really do find out about those. And keep your eyes open when you're driving down the roads.
Yeah.
So that covers, I think, kind of where you get your food.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have talked a little bit about renovations and stuff for our house. We were able to source a lot. We did a lot of that actually in Charlottetown, mainly because Matthew was driving through, coming home from work. So it was easy to have him pick stuff up there.
Yeah, there are a few key places. We frequented Canadian Tire a fair bit. We frequented
Home Depot
a lot.
Yeah.
Home Depot a lot.
Yeah. They do also have Kent supplies.
Yeah.
They have
lots of home hardware. I've been in there a few times too.
Which is fun and a little bit nostalgic for me because I believe home office for home hardware is little old Elmira, Ontario. So whenever I see it, it just, I don't know, beats a heart for home. So they ought to use that. I gotta call them. Anyway, so that's that sort of stuff. So this past weekend, what we've been up to, because I'm not a very super avid shopper, and what I enjoy shopping for least is clothing.
Yeah. So if you're thinking seasonal clothing, we have some tips and tricks we've learned about that.
So we did in the fall, getting the girls ready for back to school, but we were still pretty new, so we stuck to what we knew was a really central shopping area.
Yeah.
We're a little bit more familiar with the island, so we branched out for spring and summer, and we were looking for a few more specific items. I should give right off the bat, I have never enjoyed clothes shopping and have never found it easy, even in like the heart of Eaton's Toronto.
I think that's being generous saying she doesn't enjoy it. It's probably a lower level than she doesn't enjoy.
There's a reason I've begun knitting my own sweaters and clothing. Number one, I'm tall. For a lady, I'm almost 6 feet. So that doesn't make it very easy.
And you're like, you have a long torso, long back.
Long torso, yeah, not long legs. There's lots out there for ladies who have long legs. You can find even some of the mainstream stores like Old Navy are doing tall now. But for me, it's in my torso. So I apologize to anyone who's loving the current style that's out there. As a just over 40-year-old woman, I'm kind of finding it hard to figure out where I fit, literally. So that was an adventure. Styles are not favoring my body type at the moment. So anyway, I also have extra large feet, which we'll talk about that a little bit later too. So for our girls, we were mainly able to source from, I keep waving my hands, I apologize, from sort of some of your big box stores. And that is right across the highway or the main road from the Charlottetown Mall.
Yeah, the main shopping
which carries, again, sort of what I term teen stores, not to whatever. If you wear it, that's wonderful, that's great. But that's things like Garage, H&M, Ardennes, Urban Planet. You can look up online a whole list of what they have in there. So for our girls who are just right at that sort of beginning teenage years, they love it. They can find lots there that they're willing to wear and happy to wear.
But I'm going to jump in here for a second.
Sure.
They can find it, but if you want to find the on-trend pieces and in the sizes you want, you need to go early.
You do.
Because things come to the island, especially with COVID going on and supply chain issues, they come once in the season. It's not like, oh, we can get it from the store that's over there. No, they've got one supply of these things. So if you want it, you do need to shop.
Now, I haven't actually asked if they would order it from another store for me, but I do know, like, for example, when we lived in London, Ontario, there was definitely at least 3, I would say, major malls or shopping areas. So they would even sometimes just check on the computer, oh, it's not here at White Oaks, why don't you just pop over to Masonville? They have it. So you'd go for a little 15-20 minute drive, and it would be the size you want would be there, or they'd even bring it to the store for you. I haven't asked anyone to do that here, so I don't know if they actually would. But for the most part, there is one location for each of those stores.
And I'll say, if for any of this, because we know some Islanders who check in on us every now and then, if you have better intel on the shopping,
by all means,
inform us. Comment on these things. We are happy to be educated.
Yes, because as I said, I am not a dedicated shopper, so I have not committed hours and hours to, or days and days to finding the best places. So that's kind of was our main shopping area for Charlottetown. We were able to source most of what we needed for the girls. One little sort of detour we went on to, so I do know there is also like a main street in Charlottetown, Queen Street. It does have some what I would call boutique stores.
Yeah, and there's like a boutique mall in there too that has some
is.
really nice shops. We actually haven't really been into them.
We went in to the mall. We just we knew it was there, but we hadn't really been in. I'd wandered through it once with the girls on our way to Bank of Montreal. But we went back in again this past weekend because we were specifically looking for swimsuits. So we'd gone in search of a store called Island Swimwear. Or Beach Island Swimwear.
I'll put the name down below. Island something company swimwear.
Which according to Google was still in this mall, but the very kind and helpful security guards were able to tell us that it had in fact moved down closer to the waterfront. So again, we can put where its current location is. We did go and find it, but I think we discovered it's a seasonal store, so they just weren't up and running yet. So there are little sort of out shops you can go and find, and we by no means have sourced them all, I'm sure.
And a shout out for Montague. We actually have done a fair bit of shopping in kind of a little mix it all up store called Buy Right. It's not quite a discount store, but it carries a bunch of things. It carries some fabric in there too. And they also carry some Costco brand stuff. Because Costco does not have a place here on the island, there are actually a bunch of companies that have picked up some of their products and carry them in store, this being one of them. So
the Kirkland brand of clothing is there. So
we've had some fun shopping in Montague too.
Now, again, I don't know whether this is COVID or not, or if this is their common practice, but there are no change rooms or trying on there. So you do but I think Costco is the same itself, actually.
Yes.
They don't have change rooms either. So you buy it and you need to know your size. You kind of need to be committed to whether you like it or not. Now, Buy Right will take exchange. I want to put that out there. They will exchange for size for you because they did that for me, which is lovely. So we were able to source some swimsuits, of course, once we got looking a little bit deeper and discovered that La Vie en Rose does actually have a swimsuit section. So we could find some pieces there. Winners is here as well. Found some pieces there. Sport Check is here.
I feel like this is a giant advertisement.
I know, but I'm just trying to let people know what's here. If you are truly looking to shop.
And we're gonna miss things, and we apologize.
Oh, absolutely, we will.
Yeah.
So we shopped swimsuits. The other one was shoes we went looking for. So you can talk a little bit about that because you can share a bit about your shoes.
Well, I like shoes, and some people will think I like feet actually, which is some people not. It's because my degree is kinesiology, and I specifically looked into human movement and gait analysis, and I've worked for an orthotic company. So shoes are a bit of a passion of mine.
Is the term biomechanics?
Biomechanics is what all your body, how your body.
Right, and so he likes to start from the bottom up. It's going to affect. I've learned this living with him over the years. It's going to affect your whole body.
Good shoes are a priority for me. In fact, I worked in a shoe store for quite a while, making sure that people, or trying to convince people to get the right footwear. So when I walk into a shoe store, I sort of have this lens of what I'm looking for. And we walked into one that I was very impressed with the shop. It's Proud's Shoes in Charlottetown. And they have a lovely selection when it comes to brands of really high quality shoes.
So
not at crazy prices.
Not crazy. Now you will pay a little bit more. You're not going to walk in there and buy a pair of shoes for $40.
No.
But I'm not sure you're going to be able to buy really healthy footwear for $40 anyway. Now, usually that's a store that I would go to because I will confess to the world, I am now at this point in my life, postpartum, a few children, about a lady size 13.
Yeah, 12 and a half.
Yeah. So it's difficult to find shoes. A lot of stores at best will order up to ladies size 11. Sometimes
like in stock.
In stock.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll bring in for you a size 12, and then you're lucky if a shoe line or shoe company even makes a ladies size 13.
Yes.
So I'm very limited with what I can get. So usually I will look for these privately owned shoe stores because they will at least try to bring in some. Unfortunately, right now we were told right up front that it's the COVID supply.
Yeah, they said they were getting some of their shoes for a particular company that they ordered to come in the fall. Actually, when you order, fun fact, when you order shoes a season ahead, so right now you're ordering for fall, and in fall you order for spring. So they ordered a whole year ago shoes, and it took them that whole year to get them in just for regular stock. So they're like, there's no way we can order.
They're not going to individually order a pair for me.
It's just not going to happen.
No. Yeah, so finding me shoes is a challenge. I thankfully have Matthew who knows a lot, and he often helps me to source that out. But I certainly do not get to have this closet full of shoes. I have the shoes that I need to serve me in life, and that's about it.
We've been married long enough that you look at shoes and I'm like, no.
Yeah, they just won't have them.
They just don't make them.
Yeah. I don't even look at super cute shoes anymore because it's just torture. Now, if someone out there can put me on to the know of where to find cute, large size ladies' shoes, I would be happy to follow it up. I would be delighted. Overwhelmed. Anyway. So that covers, I think, most of our basic spring shopping. The other specific thing that we were looking for this spring is wedding wear, we'll call it. Not party wedding wear. So we weren't looking specifically for bridal shops, because those are here too. I've seen them. I know they're here. But we have a family member who's getting married. So
in the summer, in
July. In July. So we all need to be dressed and look appropriate enough, because I know we'll show up in their photos for the rest of their life.
And we haven't had to do this sort of thing in a long time.
Our girls are super excited because, as far as they remember, it's their first wedding that they're getting to attend. So we were looking again for just that next level of formal, but not right into bridal or prom wear. Sort of level of clothing. So for the girls, it wasn't too bad. We were able to find some stuff, source some stuff in a big box store. Oh, I should also put a plug in. There are a few secondhand stores here on the island that we like and have frequented. Mm-hmm. We have the big name, Value Village. There's also
Mission Thrift
that we've been to. And then a friend of ours put us wise to a cute little place called Repeats, which is also downtown, or not downtown, Charlottetown. Sorry, it's in Charlottetown. But we really liked it. It had some great cute stuff for the girls in there. So we often do our secondhand store shopping first and try and fill in the gaps, or try and get as much as we can, and then we fill in the gaps elsewhere. So I went into town on my own after having done the big shop with everyone, tried all the stores again, laughed at myself in the dressing room, not because I'm self-deprecating, but just because it really was hilarious. Like I said, styles aren't for my height this year. So I was a little bit discouraged, thinking, what am I going to do? And then I remembered I had driven past this little boutique shop in Montague that was just on the side of the main road there. And I thought, well, I'll go have a peek and see what I can find. Well, I walked in, super cute stuff, and was able to source a few things in there. So I was delighted with that. We will write the name below because, Bell's Boutique. That's what it's called.
We'll still put it down.
Yeah. So at this point in time, I have not yet found the dress that I'm going to wear for the wedding, maybe. I have one in my closet that, it would do if all else fails. But everyone likes it. Well, I like a new dress now and then. So all in all, we were able to cover the basics, get what we needed. A little bit of effort. And when I say a little bit of effort, I mean like 2 Saturday afternoons of shopping. So for you real shoppers out there, I know. But for me,
my girls come home from that like, exhausted.
For us, that was a lot of time to put in shopping. But yeah, all around, we've found that we've been able to buy or find and purchase what we need.
Yes. I'll jump in. Okay. So we forgot an important little note about shopping here on the island.
Yes.
As you saw in our thumbnail, we've got bags. So it is important to bring your own reusable bags with you whenever you go shopping.
Yeah, anything. Groceries, clothing, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, anything. Folks will ask you if you would like a bag at some locations, in which case they mean, would you like to purchase a reusable bag for, it's a reasonable fee.
Yeah, a couple of dollars or less.
Yeah. Or I have on occasion been offered a paper bag.
True.
Because it's recyclable.
Yeah, there are no plastic
I have
bags.
not run into a single plastic bag offering
Which
since
is
I've been here.
fantastic.
And, yeah, I appreciate it, and it's not a big deal. These reusable bags are around a lot of places, and so just remember to have them in your car, or they have little tuck-away ones that can go in your purse even. And we use actually bins for our groceries. We like that, just something a little sturdier.
Yeah.
So just a note: have your bags or bins with you when you go shopping.
Bring your bags.
Yeah. So if you're wondering, can you shop effectively on Prince Edward Island for what you need? The answer is absolutely yes.
Yes.
You can. And if you're anything else you're looking for, I'm sure that there is a local who will help you find it, or there is that World Wide Web as well.
Yes. And if all else fails, there's a ferry and there's a bridge, so off you go.
Yeah.
But definitely check in with your friends or your neighbors who've been around and done shopping, and they'll let you know where to go.
And maybe if you're someone who has found a place on the island that you love and you want to share it with us, comment below. We would love to check it out as well. So have yourselves a happy Easter, and we'll see you again in another couple of weeks.
Take care.